right, man. Check it out. Check this real life. He explained to you, but this is a lot. This is what's going on in the heavens right now. People are not believing it. They don't believe that stuff is going on in other dimensions. Uh, that's very biblical, very Enochish. Ezekiel, Elijah Muhammad talks about these things appear in the skies, and they appear in the skies in the heavens, and people are catching these things with their cameras. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at what he's talking about. This is like the real life Star Trek type stuff. Star Wars, Star Trek, you name it. But these are the different beings that Ezekiel talked about, the burnt brass beings. I believe you know, you have other people talking about the whites and the aliens like ET, but in the Bible it speaks of burnt brass beings coming from the heavens as well. So let's take a look and see what this brother has to say. Oh no.
2018, I noticed a rainbow surrounding the sun, so I attempted to take several images in sequence to capture the rainbow. And we've all seen those big halo rainbows around the sun, even at times colorful clouds around the sun. That's not necessarily too uncommon. But what appeared in one of these photographs is extremely rare. And I have been working on this photograph that has this object in it for several hours, and I've come up with several dozen different looks at this object, which I'm going to share with you guys in this video. It's actually really, really neat. She says, however, on one of the photos, this massive disc-shaped object appears next to the sun that took up quite a bit of the frame. I have never seen anything like this. I showed the image to my mother, and we couldn't understand how the disc appeared on the first photo and not the second and third photo. And I'm going to show those to you here in just a moment. If you do a side-by-side comparison, you will see that there are similar images on both photos. However, the disc does not appear on the second image. I took this on my Apple 4S or iPhone 4S. I am uploading the original photo and documenting the time I took both of them for you to see the date and time. This is an original photo, and the file has not been altered. The image file is quite large. If you zoom in on one of the images with the large disk, you will see that on the lower left-hand corner there is a red object that appears. You can also see that within the disk are symbols of some sort, with numbers and letters. You can also see them on the edge of this thing too, faintly. They're very, very vague. I'm not sure what this is, but I find it fascinating and quite interesting. If you would like to share this with your viewers, feel free to do so. Maybe someone will have an inkling, or perhaps it will open up more questions for discussion. This photo was taken from Southern California. Have a wonderful day. Sincerely, Michelle. Here we go. This is the original photograph taken on December 15th at 11:01 a.m. looking towards the sun in the sky with a halo/colorful clouds around the sun. This is the first photograph that she took, and you can see right here this object is a very normal lens flare. See those all the time. Here's the second photo. You can tell that she's outside, probably in the backyard, looking over the house. That's the roof. And there's the second photo of the colorful clouds, the halo around the sun. And then this is the third photograph. Look at that. 11:01 still, December 15th. She did take these in order, just like she said. What do we have here? This looks like a Stargate. It looks exactly like one. I've never seen anything quite like this. It's definitely not a lens flare, because you can see dimensions, you can see lighting, you can see shadows, you can see what looks like lettering on this thing, or at least some sort of, I don't know, you'll have to see for yourself. I got some really good, like I said, I spent hours working on this photograph. and I've got some pretty decent views of this thing. So this is just another photo that, or this is just a screenshot that I took of the original. Here's a close-up look. It gets much better, trust me. Here's side by side. This is just seconds before this one here. Unbelievable. Michelle from Southern California. See what I mean by Stargate? Have very, very similar personalities. Big, round objects with some sort of, I don't know what you call that. Some sort of ancient lettering, maybe. That's what it looks like to me. But I've got many more photographs and a small video that I put together for you guys to take a look at this in multiple formats. This is quite an amazing photograph. We're going to start with the video first, and then I'm going to get to about 12 of the best photos that turned out in the editor with different filters. And I mean, you can see some really good detail on this thing. Just appears out of nowhere. 3 photographs she took of the sun, and that appeared in one of the photographs from Southern California. Here it is again, side by side, taken on December 15th at 11:01 a.m. Here's a close-up, and I'm going to take you in real close. You're going to see this thing looks exactly like what is known as a Stargate. Doesn't appear to have anything in the center. You can see shadowing, you can see reflection. This is incredible. The size of this thing is a bit difficult to ascertain. I would say it's fairly large, but I don't know. There's a comparison again. Looks exactly like a Stargate. Unbelievable photograph coming out of Southern California. Just a little less than a month old. Let me stop it right here. You can see what I'm talking about with regard to, and she mentioned it too, you can see some sort of glyphs, lettering on this edge here. That's definitely an edge. It's reflecting light on the right side, shadowing on the left. Looks very similar to this example right here. Very similar. Just an incredible photograph. Talk about sky phenomenon. Okay, here's one of the photographs with a different filter, adjusted the color, the lighting, to try to pull out different detail that doesn't show up in the original photograph. And I've done many, many different photos with different adjustments that each one shows something a little bit different than the other. So here you can definitely see there's something big and round in the photograph next to the sun. And here's another photograph that this is, again, all of these are the original. There was only one that had this big object in it. And I've just adjusted the color and contrast to try to get us a better look at this thing. And definitely something there. You can see that the clouds or the vapors here are going over the edge of this round object. Again, shadows and lighting are coming off of this object. Quite large at the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock position of the sun. And it must have only appeared for just a second, just long enough for her to appear in her photo, and the photo was less than a second long. I don't know if it was phasing in and out. She said she didn't see it, it just appeared in the photograph. Just an incredible photograph out of Southern California. See how I get in close here? You can see light reflecting off of an edge. It's like a rim, the inside rim of this thing. And once again, these are multiple different formats that I've used of the original photograph, trying to get a better look at this thing. And I did 103 to be exact. I'm sharing just some of the 103, some of the better ones. So this was just a video clip that I put together of some of the edits that I made. But again, it's the original. There was only one photograph that had this object in it. But you can see here, lighting, shadowing, something was definitely there for a brief moment of time, just long enough to appear in the photograph. Got some more photographs to share here in just a second. Pretty amazing. Look at that. We go up here, you can see something on the edge of this thing. Light reflecting off of the inside towards the sun. The light is coming from the sun. Just an amazing photograph. Fast forward here to some of the better ones. This here's a negative format. You can see it. You can see the outline of it. It didn't show up quite as well as it did in the other photographs. This is like a sci-fi photograph, and it's there. Totally see it. You can see here the clouds. It was up behind the clouds, and the clouds are kind of camouflaging this side of it. This side here is free and clear of clouds, so we're getting a very good look at that side there. That's a X-ray format, and there it is. You can totally see it. There it is compared to a Stargate, and that's exactly what it looks like to me. Exactly. Here's some photographs, some larger photographs of the original, just different contrast, different lighting, trying to pull this thing forward. And there it is. Just an unbelievable photograph. Look at that. I would describe that as a Stargate photographed over Southern California back on December 15th of 2018. Just amazing. That's not a lens flare. No, no way. There's definitely something that appeared in this photograph. The writing on the edge of this thing, possibly it's a little difficult to tell. That's nearly a perfect ring. Perfect. With a slight oval. It's not perfectly circular. Got a little bit of an oval to it. These are just a few of the over 100 pictures that I have worked with today of the original, trying to pull this thing forward. I've worked hours on this thing. This is one of the better ones. See the light reflecting here and here, shadowing here, clouds going over again this side, like it's moving possibly from the sun away to the left. Difficult to tell, but it kind of looks like there's a little bit of drag here, possibly. It's hard to say. If it was moving, it was obviously moving quite fast, but those are some of the better photographs that I could come up with. Here's a side-by-side of Stargates. That's exactly, to me, what this thing looks like. Once again, just an incredible photograph out of Southern California of what appears to be a Stargate next to the sun, photographed by Michelle back on the morning of December 15th at 11:01 a.m. from Southern California. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day and be safe out there.
mystery object people across the Southwest saw tonight.
Good evening, I'm Rick Garcia.
And I'm Sharon Tate. So what was it? A glowing object streaking across the sky from the coast to the desert just after 7 o'clock tonight, changing colors along the way. Reports of the mysterious object are coming in from a wide area, from the coast, the mountains, the Inland Empire, the OC, and all the way to Phoenix and Vegas. Both the National Weather Service and the Griffith Observatory told us tonight it appears to be a meteor, but we haven't received any definitive proof of that. And minutes ago, Vandenberg Air Force Base confirmed to KCAL-9 it is not a satellite falling to Earth or any kind of space junk. KCAL-9's Melissa Corona with more from witnesses on what they saw tonight.
Stop.
Mystery, it is a very intriguing mystery tonight. What was it that fell from the sky? And we've been flooded at KCAL-9 from your eyewitness accounts from across the region. We're going to start off.
Don't want to watch that, but I just want to say this right here. You know how you may go to Louisiana, New Orleans, or Savannah, and I cut it off just. I don't know if you guys were watching that, but I want to talk a little bit about some stuff about what was on that video and what did the lady catch on that video. You see, she took it so many times. When you have those fast cameras or whatever, you take it so many times, you catch different shots in the spirit realm. Like if you in Savannah, Georgia, they might tell you to take a whole bunch of pictures. You might catch a Civil War soldier, you know, by a cannon, and they catch stuff like that in Savannah. Same thing in New Orleans. And up in the heavens, if you have a high-powered camera, you can like snap the shot so many times, you will catch different things in different dimensions, because that the naked eye can't catch. And the thing about it, sad to say, but they don't teach us that in church, what Ezekiel and Enoch talk about. Ezekiel and Enoch talk about these wheels in the sky, right? They talk about these type things, right? It's sad to say, it's so much stuff happening, it's making your head spin, you know. But they keep us occupied with so much foolishness out here. You know what I mean? So much foolishness. Is nothing they talking about worth nothing really on TV. But we have to stay. Sneeze. Hold on one second. We have to stay mindful and just stay up on our, you know, our prayer, talking to God every day. These are the things it's so much stuff happening right now. Like they got CERN out there in Switzerland that can also bring, it's an accelerator out there. It can also bring, and they aiming towards the sky, and it's called CERN. Look up CERN, S-E-R-N. This thing with Stephen Darby talk about. You look it up. It's this accelerator in Switzerland, a huge one. It's almost like a few miles long, whatever. Yeah, about a few miles in diameter or something like that. But anyway, they said that this thing is trying to break through the walls of Earth. Like they say that it's a firmament, whatever. But they said that it's trying to break through the wall part of it and bring in other dimensions. What they're trying to do is speed up revelations. You know what I mean? So they can bring in all type of demons and more Nephilims, like, you know, the Messiah said that. So it goes in the days of Noah, so will it be in the Son of Man. You know how I go, but they mean that, you know, it's going to be giants on the earth. It's going to be giants, you know, like the Kandahar giants in Afghanistan. Them soldiers just like 10 years ago killed giants over there. 15 years ago killed red-headed and bearded giants that was 15 feet tall, about 1,200 pounds, and ran like the wind. You know how the Incredible Hulk run, and his feet moving fast, and he picking up stuff, throwing stuff. They said that those giants over there do the same exact thing that this Incredible Hulk did. It's a Nephilim. The Nephilim's still here, but they don't teach us this type of stuff in the church, right? There's so much stuff that God wants us to know. It's not that He wants us to be afraid of it, but He wants us to know what's going on 360. Not just going to church and doing this, whatever. Learning, certain things in the Bible. You have to know everything in the Bible. The books they took out, they took out the book of Enoch. They kept the book. They kept Ezekiel, but they took out the book of Enoch in the Bible. He talks about all this stuff, and Ezekiel give a little rundown on the wilderness sky as well. Elijah Muhammad talks about it as well. But these things is real. I want to share it with you guys, and hey man, thank you for just hanging out with me. I had to go do something a little bit. The main video you saw, I came in when the next video started playing. I don't know what he's talking about on that one. I try to find it I try to find it again. But I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me. And once again, on that note, this is Wake Up Israel News with Chris Judah. See you next time. Salam.